I put myself between the charging ogre and our wizard, and raised my shield to deflect his blow.
All right, sounds like defy danger to me. Roll plus strength.
Well, that's a 4.
Good news, mark XP. Bad news, the heavy blow tosses you about 20 feet into a pile of what looks like vines. As you land, the vines begin to move around you.
Oh, wait, what? I want to discern realities. Okay, got an 8. That means one question, right? What's about to happen?
As the tendrils begin to make noise and move closer to your friend, it becomes apparent he's about to listen to that D&D podcast. All right. Thank you, everybody, for downloading this latest episode of That D&D Podcast. It's been a little while since we had this group together. The last session, the cave group explored a little bit further into the cave. You found a very nice square room with weird shapes that were shifting about. After some further exploration, you found a treasure chest with some stuff in it, pissed off some fire beetles, and some gargoyles. There was some comical throwing of explosive bugs towards the end, but in the long run, you emerged victorious. You got a fancy wand out of it, and the other half of an old journal, which further documented the slow decay or transformation, I guess, of some unfortunate soul. So we are picking back up. But before we do, let's go around the table and introduce ourselves. My name is Chris. I'm the GM, and I will be playing the part of Cave tonight.
Hi, I am Adam and Sick, and I'll be playing Oric the Thief, otherwise known as the Terrible Bug Thrower.
I'm David. I will be playing Zharko, also known as the wizard who does not fight good.
I'm Renee, and I'm playing Sam with my trusty wolf Max, and I believe I was exploded on.
Yep, some shit happened. You know, it's fine. So you guys are slightly worse for the wear, but I believe when we ended it, you all finished searching the room for any notable objects or anything.
Chris, before we get into the actual game, I wanted to change something. At the end of the last session, I believe I updated my bond with Zharko to something like I was going to watch him because I was worried about his power.
I think I have it written down. The book I stole from Zharko has made me wary of him. I must keep a closer eye on his actions, I believe was the update.
Yeah, that sounded boring to me in the end, and I decided to do something different.
Lay it on me.
Basically, just something to the effect that I've seen the power that Zharko has. I want to use it to reach my goal of revenge.
Now, are you going to try to manipulate him without him realizing it to use his powers to your advantage, or are you going to ask him to help you do these things?
I haven't decided yet. Possibly with, again, as opposed to manipulation, but we'll see.
Okay, well, let's try this for the time being. How's this sound? I've seen the power Zharko controls, and I will use him to exact my revenge.
Sure.
Seems vague enough to where you can, make a manipulation or not. So, yes, you guys are in this room. You can spend the rest of your days here if you want, and with your dwindling food supplies, that wouldn't be too long. Or you can wander around. It's totally up to you.
I think we definitely had to go back the way we came because there's nothing else at the end here.
Zharko's going to cast Prestidigitation because he's been picked up and dropped a little bit. I think his robes are kind of dirty.
Cast that spell and we'll see how well it goes.
All right.
2d6 plus your intelligence modifier.
Which is normally +2, but I only get +1 because I've got a penalty from being dropped. No, I fail.
4. Starting off strong.
Now I'm really perturbed. can't even remember my vocabulary.
The act of trying to cast this spell, since it has some hand movements to it, unbeknownst to you at the time, you've actually smeared some sort of gargoyle droppings between your palms, and now it's sort of dry and sticky for some reason.
Good job, Zharko. Good job.
Nothing worse than a sticky wizard, right?
I'm gonna see if I can, like, lure Max over and maybe he'll lick my hands clean.
I thought you were just gonna like pet him until it came off on his fur. I'm not sure which one of those is worse, actually. All right, well, Sam, does Max respond to Zharko's calls?
No. Max is just gonna look at him. He knows this trick. He's gonna kind of growl just a little bit, like not enough to be super intimidating, but just enough to be like, "No, man, I know what you're trying to do
just
here."
enough to be like, "Hey, fuck you."
All right,
Zharko's done this before.
I'm just gonna scrape my hands on, like, the pillar nearby, try and clean them off.
Okay. So in this room, there are now 3 regular pillars that are dim, and one of those 3 is now sticky and stinky. We're applying adjectives to things now.
Cool.
So I'm assuming that we're gonna head back to the crossroads.
That would be the, I guess, logical thing to do, because that way also leads to home if you so choose to go that way.
I don't think we should go home quite yet. So you were saying that these tunnels are actually fairly long, as opposed to the picture.
Yeah, it would be pretty much impossible to, note it on the picture on the map and keep it readable. So the long stretches, they're anywhere between 15 minutes to like an hour or so of walking.
I'm just thinking, I don't know how exhausted we are by now, but some of us are pretty half health here, so it might be good to set up camp. I don't know if we've been going that long.
I believe you've all have like the basic adventure gear, so you've got the rolls and the torches and that sort of thing. If you want to set up camp, more than welcome to.
Oh, I mean, I really don't want to encounter whatever's in this journal at half health. That doesn't sound that great.
Right.
But I have no idea when it's going to happen. So, I mean, I also kind of want to at least knock out one more path before we sit down to rest. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I can't recall. Sorry, you go ahead first, and then I'll.
I was gonna say, like, we could go down the other side here and see what we encounter.
I have to ask Chris, because I can't quite remember from last time.
Sure.
Did I detect magic down the way where the gargoyles and everything was? Is that where I had detected the magic before?
Yeah, it was the kind of magic you hadn't smelled before, I believe it was.
Okay. I thought that was the way. I just wanted to double check to make sure.
The path leading off to the west had a few coins that Oric picked up. The one to the east, which you guys went down, was the one with the gargoyles that smelled funny, and I don't believe there's anything noteworthy that you all detected about the path leading to the south.
Well, I'm fine checking out the coin path and stuff.
Coin path?
Okay, let's do that. I like coin path.
Those coins are already picked up, so don't you re-add them to your inventory, you sneaky so-and-so.
I don't know if I did the first time.
Pretend you did.
But he doesn't remember it.
Not
so it doesn't
anymore.
count, right?
Let me see. I have little notes I put on the GM layer that you guys can't see that I'm trying to reference with a sheet of stuff.
How dead are we?
Roll me a d6.
6 of dead.
You
Do
have
you
4
actually need a
points of dead.
d6?
Yeah. Not to see how bad you die, just to see what is up here.
A 1, so there's only one of whatever's up here.
Luckily, it's a dragon, though.
Oh man, I'm so glad you rolled a 1. That could have been ugly.
There are just 6 dragons crammed in this tiny little cave, and a baby.
It's okay, we can like funnel them down, like get so they only come one at a time down the hallway.
Yeah, there we go.
I saw that in a movie. It's got to be a viable strategy.
Apparently this is a dead end.
There's some weird noises happening in my house, and it's freaking me out.
It's right behind you.
Of course it is. It's always behind me, but I don't look, and then I don't get killed. So
Except we're looking on your camera, so we're looking for you.
it doesn't count. That means you die.
That's how it works.
Right. Anyway,
Chris, I'm going to need you to make a sanity check.
my int modifier is so low, it's pretty much a guaranteed fail.
Oh, no, it's willpower for sanity.
Oh, that's true. Different stat system.
Mhm.
Anyway, back on
Anyway.
topic. You guys head to the west for about, let's say, half an hour or so. The passageway is roughly uniform. It doesn't seem to be hand carved or anything like that last room was, but it's pretty ordinary. Towards the end, you see it looks like there was a cave-in. So there is a large pile of rubble, and then maybe about 10 or 15 feet away from the rubble, so kind of between you guys and the landslide, is a dead person on the ground.
Oh.
Dead in front of the rubble. I want to.
Maybe he got lost and starved in front of the
Is
rubble.
he's like
Stand
long
there.
dead, or
It's mostly skeletal remains.
okay?
I'm going to make a roll. I want to do trap expert again to sort of check to make sure that this isn't some really obvious trap that we're going to walk into, because dead body. And that is a dex roll, so that's +2. I rolled a 7. So that means I get 1 hold.
Yes, you could spend your hold as you walk through the area to ask these questions. Is there a trap here, and if so, what activates it? What does
That
the
one.
trap... Okay. You see above you some... what are the ones that hang from the ceiling? Stalactites.
Stalactites.
Because they hang
They have
tight
to
onto
hang
the
on
ceiling so
tight.
they don't fall. Right. Cool. I'm glad we both remembered through that same little thing. Anyway, so there's one larger one with what appears to be rope tied to it, and a small pouch of something. And near the dead body, you see, looks like a copper wire has been broken.
So apparently he activated the trap.
Someone did, and there was a trap, and when
my trap
activated,
card.
it made an explode that caved this part in.
But there's still one that hadn't exploded yet?
Right. It could be a dud, or it could be waiting for a harder tug to go off.
Let's pull
Tug a
on
little
it
harder.
and see.
So carefully avoiding the wire and rope system, let's examine the body.
Absolutely. Based on what remains of their clothes, it appears to be some sort of adventurer. They've got lightly armored, looks like some kind of very light leather armor. Time and whatever lives here have not treated it rather well. It's mostly kind of rotted away or, threadbare. There is a cloak on this guy's back. It seems to be doing much better, as if it was either added after he died or perhaps enchanted in some way to resist the effects of time. You can tell that this dude died because as he slowly rotted away, the obvious break in his neck is much more noticeable.
So the only thing of worth seems to be this cloak, perhaps? Either just sturdy or possibly enchanted.
Yeah, if you were to pat him down in depth, you would find one dagger in its sheath and an empty sheath that was larger and probably contained a sword at some point.
Well, if you want me to ask the guy some questions.
Oh, that's right. You still have that available to your use? Or that spell available?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of my bread and butter, but
I don't know what we have to ask him. But if you feel like talking to a dead guy, go right ahead.
I sort of narrow my eyes at you a little in sort of an expression like, why wouldn't I want to talk to a dead person?
Obviously.
I guess it would be good to know why he was down here in the first place. And maybe if he knew what was past this rubble, that'd be kind of useful too. So yes, let's talk to him.
10. Yay.
Sweet. Let me pull up the Okay. A corpse converses with you briefly. It will answer any 3 questions you pose to it to the best of the knowledge it had in life and the knowledge it gained in death. It doesn't move, but you hear a sort of whistling sound coming from the broken, crushed trachea area. Some small lights appear in the eyes, and it looks in your direction, and there is some weird mockery of breath as it waits for you to ask it something.
Who were you in life?
I was an adventurer, trying to make my name and get glory, solving problems.
Did you travel alone or with a party?
I had friends. We went to a cave together. I hope they fared better than I.
What's on the other side of this pile of rubble?
That's what we were trying to find out. There's no map, but it's a tunnel of some sort. We were looking for a way out.
Thank you.
The light in the eyes flickers and dies, I guess.
Apparently, this pile of rubble was here when he was still alive.
Odd.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Well, I don't really feel like digging through this rubble right now. Do we want to go down that other path, or do we just want to take a break? Have some food.
I mean, I kind of want to take a closer look at this pile of rubble to see if it looks like a normal. I don't know if I would know what a normal cave-in looks like, but or if there's something odd about it. Because if this is supposed to be a puzzle, there might be more to it than just a pile of rocks. So would that be a discern reality check then, or I just don't have any idea what?
Yeah, let's do discern reality. You can at least do some investigating to see if you can figure out some more info on it.
Otherwise, it's just a pile of rocks.
Yeah, worst case, hey, it's rocks, whatever.
I got a 12.
Very nice.
Whoa.
So, do you have the list in front of you of the question? Oh, of course you do, because you have the macro. So, what 3 questions would you like to ask?
What should I be on the lookout for?
The unexploded packet of flash powder attached to that stalactite.
Alright, what here is not what it appears to be.
Something about this guy's, the dead guy's gear seems off to you.
And what here is useful or valuable to me?
I mean, you could always use more daggers, right?
Interesting. Okay. So that unfortunately didn't give me anything on the rubble because it's just happened that way. So I'm gonna grab the
Maybe it's just what it looks like.
I was about to say, you determined that the rubble is what it appears to be.
Yes, it's
based
still
on
rubble.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll grab the guy's cloak and dagger, and I'm curious, how far up is the stalactite?
It is, let's say, the tunnel in this area is roughly like 10 or 15 feet up.
Okay, and I imagine climbing to the ceiling might be difficult.
The stalactite hangs down a bit. If you were to get a good boost from your friends, you could maybe make a cheerleader toss jump Scrabble thing.
Zharko, you wouldn't have any magical way of grabbing things from afar, would you?
Magic missile.
No, not right now. My unseen servant suffered some sort of accident. I need to prepare some rituals to try and mend this before I can cast it again.
Okay, well, why not do something stupid? So I want to try getting that packet of flash powder. Because I'm kind of curious about this powder in the first place. Being an alchemist and all. Or a budding alchemist.
Being a guy who studies things that could be advantageous to him.
So yeah, I want to try to get up there and grab that powder. So I guess I guess not Zharko. Sam, if Sam could give me a boost up.
Sure.
That wouldn't be hack and slash, but why don't you roll me like 2d6 plus your strength mod, and you can toss / hold him up.
My strength mod. It's 0. Okay, let's see. That's not letters.
Renee's so
It was
high
all
right now.
punctuation.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck. Fuck.
Or just slam into sand, we fall over, basically.
I think I've got you, but my hand slips, and you're just like, damn.
Oric, Sam tosses you harder than you would expect.
Okay.
You have a brief moment where you're high enough up to grab the rope that has that flash powder attached to the stalactite if you want. It'll be risky. But if you want to try and be dexterous enough to get it off there without blowing it up, this is your one chance to do it.
Okay. Let's give it a shot.
All right, defy some danger for me, buddy.
I hope you guys aren't standing underneath the stalactite, because, I rolled a 9. So that's not the end of the world, at least.
That's true. Yeah, that's fine. You pull it off, and there's a slight hiss, and it doesn't actually go off. It seems to be worked into the weave of the rope pretty well. So at the moment, in the current situation, getting it out of there will be a little bit difficult. So if you want to take it, you're going to have to take the whole weird rig.
Okay, I'll grab what I can up there.
Okay, so you have a length of about, let's say, like 20 feet of rope that is braided together with, now that you can see it from both sides, there are 2 pouches of flash powder in there.
Okay.
Flash powder. I'm trying to get better at taking notes about things that you guys do. So when I come to write the adventure log, I know about the things that you guys did, which I guess is helpful.
Sounds like a threat.
I know what you did, and you're going to pay for it. That's a threat. Yes, so is there anything else you guys want to do here, or do you want to head back to Ye Fork?
I can't think of everything else.
Yeah, we as well head back to the fork.
Mhm.
Didn't you say that something about his gear looked off?
Presumably this cloak or dagger has something odd about it.
Did we pick those 2 up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you stowing them for now, or are you like putting them on for easy use later, or?
Just stowing them for now. I was gonna shove them in Zharko's face next time he cast to detect magic.
Okay.
I didn't know if he wanted to cast it right now, if he had it available. I can't remember from last session. But I figure we can wait till it's a more useful time.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you guys want to keep on traveling? Do you want to stop and rest? It's up to you. I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page before we charge forward into the unknown.
I mean, I'm at half health, or slightly above half, so I'm kind of inclined.
I think we should probably stop to rest about this point.
Yeah.
It seems like when we would naturally stop to rest anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's make camp.
Okay. When you settle into rest, everybody consume a ration.
Where do we want to rest in the cave?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good question. Do you want to hang out at the intersection? Do you want to spend the time going back to a previously
I'd say
cleared room?
Maybe just like halfway down, or just
I would
somewhere
say
so
like
we know.
here.
Yeah.
Back there? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're like we know it's to our backs. It should be a pile of rubble,
Mhm.
and there's only one way to get to us.
Yeah.
Good thinking. That's why
That makes
you're that's why you're the cave expert.
That's why you haven't been caught for stealing yet. Wait, what? Yes. So we're doing make camp. So when you settle in to rest, you consume a ration. So everybody make sure you deduct the number of rations, or deduct 1 from your number of rations. If you have enough XP, you may level up. When you wake from at least a few uninterrupted hours of sleep, heal damage equal to half of your max HP. Did anybody want to stand watch, or are you guys just going to trust that you're okay?
I think we should at least do some watches.
All right, well, who wants to take the first watch shift?
I will, I guess.
Okay.
You have Max keep you company.
So how long, first off, before we do all this, how long did you guys plan on resting? Like, you've been in here for some indeterminate period of time. It's really hard to figure out, the flow of time underground. So did you guys want to just rest until you feel better? Maybe a few hours? Or do you want to try to...
I have my handy pocket sundial, right? No, wait a second.
Hold the lantern. Wait, hold
I'll
the
hold the
lantern
torch
here,
above my
son of a-
sundial. No, we probably should rest at least for a full 8 hours so everybody could heal up with the watches and all that. Yeah, I don't want to shortchange anyone.
All right, so first watch will be Sam. Roll me 2d6 plus whiz, please.
Okay. God
Oh,
damn
jeez.
it.
Sam, you rolled a
I'm
3.
so sorry, you guys, for whatever is coming out of the darkness
Okay,
towards
re-roll it
us.
because you rolled 2d5, so that doesn't count as a thing.
Okay.
Fat finger to the rescue. That's
That's
much
better.
better.
That's better.
Sam, how do you and Max pass time while you're staying on watch?
Sam would be. I think that if there's no light out, like if she can't do things that require light, she recounts the lore of her tribe to herself. Like to
Yeah.
maintain the history of her family and her people, and she probably tells Max because why not? He listens.
I can dig it. As you're telling him that, at some point, his ears perk up and swivel in different directions as if he heard something on the wind momentarily, but he paces around for a little bit, sniffs the air, listens really hard, and he doesn't hear anything else. But aside from that, your watch shift is pretty much unremarkable. So who are you going to wake up to take over for you?
Let's see. Zharko, Oric, I think.
Okay.
He seems the most. I don't know. He seems like the one who would be most wake upable in the middle of the night.
Don't wake a sleeping wizard.
Not really. No, it's a bad experience. I'll let's do that.
All right. Why don't you roll me a stand watch, Oric?
13.
You just had to one-up Sam, didn't you?
Yep.
So what do you do by yourself while you're standing watch?
And I will tell him.
About the noise?
Yeah, I will just let him know that it's probably nothing, but he did, notice that Max did notice some sound. Just be aware of it.
Okay, thanks. I will keep an eye or ear out for it. So Oric probably has a pouch or a small pouch of interesting looking herbs and roots that he finds while he travels that he just kind of messes around with to see if he can concoct any new or interesting poisons or compounds. So probably just messing around with that stuff.
Sounds good. Why don't you roll me defy danger int, and we'll see if you can actually make something.
God. That's a just straight up 2d6. It's a 6.
You don't make anything.
To get experience for that? For
Yeah.
failing to do something interesting? Okay.
Yeah. You have the feeling that you've got like the baby steps of something possibly useful, but you go a few steps too far before you have the groundwork established, and it ends up being just really foul-smelling oil.
Okay.
So you have a jar of
That's always
just
useful.
we call it a jar of stink
Gunk.
essence. So after your shift ends, you're all actually feeling better. Everybody's feeling pretty rested. Zharko, what spells did you want to prepare now that you've got? That's a thing that wizards can do in their sleep, right?
No, I need a little bit of time
Okay.
to prepare. I can't remember how much time.
An hour or so.
An hour
so
or
if
so.
if you want to do like a quick watch shift, you can do that and sort of just meditate while everybody else kind of packs up.
Yeah, I mean, I assume everybody's okay with the wizard preparing magic to use. So
Not in a creepy cave. All right, so you get your level plus 1 worth of spells. Did you hit level 2 yet, or are you still level 1?
I'm level 2.
You're level
yeah.
2. Okay, so you prepare 3 levels worth of spells out of Detect Magic, Charm Person, Invisibility, and Magic Missile. So which of those 3 do you want?
We'll take Magic Missile, detect magic, and Speak with Dead, because those are
Oh, Speak with Dead,
yep,
right.
quite useful.
Forgot about... Yeah.
Yep, I get that.
Yeah, because it's your human thing, so you can cast a cleric spell. Yep, gotcha. Right, so you are prepped. You don't feel confused or stunned or whatever it was that was affecting you anymore. Like your head is cleared, so you don't have that negative to your spell casting. Everybody make sure you regain up to half your health back.
Done.
And as you're all packing up your bags, you hear something that's coming from the intersection. Some really weird combination of like a deep bellowing sound and like a high-pitched squawk.
Huh. That sounds like that's going to be healthy for us.
Can I spout some lore about this, maybe?
Sure.
A 10.
Well, 10 plus, the DM will tell you something interesting and useful about the subject. So, first off, how would you know what this creature sounds like? Did you hear like another wizard make the sound somehow? Or a special book maybe played it? Or how do you know what the hell's making the sound?
Yeah, actually, I ran into a guy who was killed by one of these before, and he did a pretty convincing imitation.
That works for me.
Because he told me about what
Oh
killed
my
him. I'm
gosh,
like,
that's amazing.
that sounds terrifying. What does it sound
Yeah.
like? And then he imitated it.
Nice.
So you know based on the sound that it is in fuck, I should have picked the monster name I could pronounce in Otyug?
Can you put the spelling into the chat?
Yes. Otyugh.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
I'm gonna say Otyug because it sounds kind of fun. And that, lucky for you guys, is its mating call that you're hearing. It is fiercely territorial, spends a lot of its time partially submerged in filthy water, and prefers eating garbage over any other food. It's known to eat living creatures, though, but as a result, it grows fat and strong off the random leavings of other monsters or creatures. And it's got a bevy of barbed tentacles kind of coming out of its back that it can use to grab, and also some of them have mouths on them that they can eat with.
Oh, that's good.
So if we can just avoid getting it too, if we don't rile it up, we should be okay. Can we maybe go back and get? Oh, those beetles all exploded. I was gonna say if we could maybe take a corpse along to feed it. Nope.
Hmm.
I have no ideas about how to avoid it any otherwise.
Well, I mean, we could just try and sneak by it, and maybe it won't bother us if it's busy.
Yeah, no, we can.
I'm not a fan of leaving the cave and then just trying to chase after everybody else, because that's just like admitting we were wrong. And if there's one thing I don't want to do, it's to tell Voltus that he was right.
So I guess let's just carefully advance back the way we came here.
Yeah.
About 15 minutes later, you all arrive at the intersection. There doesn't appear to be a monster of any sort waiting for you there. So there is the sound of sloshing to the south. The tunnel you guys haven't gone down yet.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's
We're gonna have to go that way.
yeah, the kind of way we need to go.
Let's just be careful. I mean, if we know that this thing stays submerged in filthy water, we'll just try to be sneaky, I guess. Try not to step in the water and make noise.
So you guys, just so we're on the same page, the plan is to keep going south.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is only about 10 minutes of walking. And come to a cavernous room, probably 100 feet or so around. And everything aside from maybe 6 inches on the side is water. In the water, every now and then, at the very edge of your torchlight, you can see dark green in the light, stalks of something barbed, wafting slowly in the air as if sensing for something.
Well, this is a terrible, terrible place.
I agree. Mm.
I imagine there's probably a. Geez, I don't know if I want to do this. There's probably loose stones around us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if trying to throw it at the far end of the lake and it's going the other way distracted enough for us to get by. I don't know if it's going to care or not, but
Oh, I gotcha. So you're trying to basically pull it in the other direction so you can sneak by.
yeah, try like throw the stone over here while we go to the left or to our
Hey,
right.
look, there's a sound over there.
And stealthily head around the other way. Yeah, where is it? This is a fairly large cave, yes.
Yeah, it's about 100 feet in every direction.
I'm gonna stop you before you throw anything.
I'm not throwing it yet. I'm just
Okay.
considering this as part of a plan.
Right.
How large of the area of this water do the tentacles cover?
Pretty good part. You've got maybe 15 feet that you're not seeing movement or something. They seem to waft slowly, and then they'll go under, and then they'll appear somewhere else and do some wafting.
So this thing's massive.
It's pretty huge. At least the tentacles are long. That's pretty much what you can tell from this.
Jeez.
Oh.
I dropped a picture on the map just so you guys can see what
Oh,
you're
I do
dealing
not
with.
like being in this room. Yeah, it's really gross. So we should definitely try to sneak around what appears to be the shortest route around the
Yeah.
pond of terror and filth.
Currently, with your torchlight, you've got visibility to just past the middle, and you don't see another exit out of this room on the walls near you. So,
Okay.
you don't know exactly where the exit is, even though you as players do. Your characters don't just yet.
Okay, well, obviously the correct answer is to go to the right, because that's what you should always do, is just stick to the right-hand wall.
So you were I forget for your spout lore. What were you saying this thing is sensitive to?
It likes eating carrion and offal, like dead stuff.
I'm just trying to wonder if there's like a sensory thing that you could do. Because I would say that casting light on a tentacle might freak it out, or
Well,
making
I mean, I could maybe make some stones smell like rotting flesh, and we could throw them.
Yeah, that's another possibility. I'm just trying to think of any way to distract this thing that doesn't involve us going near that beast. Yeah, let's try that. That sounds like a good idea.
I like creative plans. Let's give it a shot if you want.
Before we do this, though, Oric,
Yes.
I need to ask you something,
Yes.
because you've been acting very strangely these past few days.
Okay.
I feel like there's something you want to tell me, but you don't feel like it's a good time, and it's not a good time right now. But it's really dangerous right now.
Sam's just gonna kind of glance at them sidelong and move away.
It's really dangerous right now, and so before anything happens, I want to make sure that if anything happens to us, we can go to our graves without anything weighing.
How
on
about
us.
you could just pass the giant tentacle monster and then we could talk about this? Because you're right, this is not the best time.
Okay.
So
then.
glad I mostly hang out with a wolf.
Well, if I die, will you bring another wizard back so you can tell me what happened? Because now I'm really curious. Give me those stones. I'll make them smell like a dead person.
Okay. We'll gather some appropriately sized rocks.
You gather some rocks, and there also appear to be some medium-sized bones that have sort of washed up on the dry areas at the rim near you.
Yeah, the bones sound like they're probably good throwing weight, so we'll present that for enchantment.
Enchantment!
make sure we don't tell Max we're not playing fetch here. So
Yeah, I'm gonna cast some prestidigitation on him to make him smell, rotten, like rotten flesh, because that's what they like.
Fire away.
A 13.
Very nice. Cool. All right, so you're gonna throw those in the water yourself, or are you gonna hand those to somebody else to throw?
No, I'm gonna let somebody else throw them. I'm not.
yeah.
They're stinky. Why hang on to them? Right?
I didn't. I figured like Oric would be holding him, and I'd just touch him to cast a spell. I mean, he's the guy who's got all the throwing daggers and stuff. So
Yeah, that's fine. So, Oric,
Okay.
these rocks are mighty slippery. Let's see if we can get a volley and see if you can throw them where you mean to throw them.
Just so it is truly random, so we're not using player knowledge here. 1 is left, 2 is right. Okay.
now is that right to our characters or right to our players?
My characters were left.
Okay.
So my characters would be throwing it to his left.
Okay. Just so we're all on the same page.
So you mean here to the east?
Yeah, sorry. I
Okay,
guess I would be more
cool.
confused. Yes, he
Yep.
throws it to his left.
Okay.
And we'll just throw a volley in here. That's a 5, not a 6. A 13. We'll quickly move to the right.
Yes, in quick succession, you throw a few of the rocks and a couple bones, and the smell attracts the Otiug through whatever means it intakes such senses. And the water begins to slosh, and waves of it kind of lap up against your feet as you're standing at the entranceway to this room. And you see a wave building and heading off to the left if you're facing into the room. So now is the time, if you want, to try to head along the wall to the right.
Yes.
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 Okay. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
How do sneak? There's a ghost in the house.
Yes, apparently.
And you're defying danger dex most likely if you're going to make
Yeah, I
this
was
roll.
going to say
Yeah.
Dex defy danger. Let's do it as a group thing. So, two successes and you guys make it, and 2 failures or more, and bad things happen.
I rolled an 8.
All right.
Whoops, that's not plus. Also, that's not the word roll. I'm not doing well with this at all tonight.
8, 8, and 12. Wow.
The wizard does the best.
On a 7 to 9, so on a 10 plus, you do what you set out to do. The threat doesn't come to bear. On a 7 to 9, you stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice.
Yep. So for Sam and Oric, since you guys got an 8, the water here is filthy and probably teeming with bacteria, which makes the ground under your feet rather slick. You're able to make it across, definitely. But on the way, do you scrape up against something, or do you slip into the water momentarily?
I don't think I want to go into the water, so I scrape up against something.
I think Sam will take her chances with the water. She's pretty used to dealing with bacteria.
All right. Oric, there's a bone that's wedged in between some of the rocks, and as you're walking by, it cuts right along the front of your shin and kind of scrapes back towards the calf. It's nothing serious, but there's a little bit of blood there. Hopefully nothing here smells blood, likes it. And Sam, you get a nice mouthful of just gross garbage. That may cause some problems for you later, but for now, aside from really wanting to stand under a waterfall for about a week, you're okay. Max looks at you weird when you get back out of the water, like you're playing a really dumb game that he doesn't like. But
Why are you taking a bath now?
and here of all places, he's like, I eat poop, and this is gross.
Only cat poop, I'm sure.
So you skirt along the walls, and you find an opening Do you want to go through there, or do you want to keep trying and see if there's a better opening further down?
I will take whatever opening is there.
Let's just leave this room forever.
Another few minutes of travel, and come to a fork. The path to the left, which leads, I guess, west, looking at it from the map aspect of things, it's a bit wider. There are some marks in the stone.
Is it something scarred the stone?
Yes. And the path off to the right, or the east, is much narrower, but doesn't seem to be as well traveled.
Also, I would pause and bind up my leg just because.
Sure.
Don't need bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Do we want to do the detect magic thing again? That seemed to help us last time into massive amounts of danger.
Okay.
Roll away, buddy.
4. Nope. No.
Just don't feel like it right now. It's just not my thing.
It's I'm trying to cast it, but like part of me is just like that frickin' Otiug back there is probably gonna be, fouling up my senses, my magic senses somehow. So,
What sense were you trying to attune to magic?
probably either hearing or smelling.
Okay.
But either way, I mean,
Let's go with hearing. You try to cast the detect magic spell, and rather than hearing the chime of a bell or anything, there's just that really annoying tinnitus sound where your ears are ringing, and it's managing to muffle out most of everything else that you should be able to hear.
this is the worst.
Luckily, it should wear off, in half an hour or so. But for now,
I'm working my jaw a lot trying to
mop,
get it.
mop.
Yeah.
So that method has proved fruitless, unfortunately. And as you guys are trying to analyze the situation, you hear heavy stomping coming down from the western passageway.
Okay, let's go to the east. I don't know what heavy stomping is. So let's just go off to the east, I guess.
Okay.
Right. What is the marching order for you guys going down the eastern tunnel?
I think Sam has been leading us.
Okay.
Or she did in the past. And Zharko's in the middle, and I'm bringing up the rear.
Sounds good. Arm of the cave seems less traveled, maybe due to the fact that you have to kind of shimmy sideways to get into the opening. After that, it opens up a little bit more, but it's not much more than shoulder width in this place. So if you suffer from claustrophobia, this is not your best day ever. But as you guys are getting in and shimmying, Sam goes in, Zharko goes in. Oric, as you're waiting your turn, you hear... it almost sounds like sniffing. And then there is a low... and stomping is getting faster and getting closer. And you manage to get into the opening maybe 3 or 4 seconds before something's arm reaches in and tries to grab you.
I want to chuck my vial of stink essence back at it.
Okay, roll. I was gonna say roll me a volley, but this is rather close quarters. You hit it right in the hand. It doesn't take any damage or anything from the breaking vial, but it pulls its arm back and goes, and then runs off down the way it came.
My only vial of stink essence gone.
Ow, that hurt my throat. Hey, at least it was stink essence well used, right?
Yes.
Alright, so this path, it continues onward. It seems to slope slightly downward for a couple 100 meters. And then at a certain point, it levels back out. The ground is cracked, and it seems to be made of some loose stone under your feet. But it's leveled out, and you have to kind of hunch just to move forward here. It's not too late to reconsider and go back, though, if you want. I mean, if you're getting ooged out by close quarters.
I feel like, what else are we going to go back for? Might as well keep going.
So, Sam, you're the first to step onto the cracked ground, and then Zharko, and then Oric, and you guys make your way another. It's a lot of slow movement, so it probably takes you quite a bit longer than it normally would just to make it, 200-300 feet. But as you make it there, you feel a rumbling in the walls and all around you, pretty much. And now is just the first thing that goes through your head is, "Hey, earthquake, would be real good right about now."
No, it wouldn't.
The ground below you seems to crumble, and after a few moments, it drops out from underneath you entirely.
Oh shit!
How wide is this cave?
About shoulder width.
Or passage? So could I brace myself on the walls?
Yes, if you want to try to brace yourself, I'm going to need you guys to defy danger.
Yeah.
My danger. Okay.
What sort of test are we making?
Act fast, that would be dexterity.
Okay.
If you just want to try to brute force catch yourself, that would be strength.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna
Well, I'm
dexterity.
marking-
Zharko's
shit.
gonna act fast to, try and brace himself.
Right,
like
right.
his legs legs on one side, back on the other side. But
So Oric got a
We're
6.
all going down.
Sam got a 6.
we're all going down.
And-
Zharko got a 4. We'll talk about how this could have gone
Guys, you suck.
later.
I'm gonna take a lot of experience to the grave.
Maybe this is like the super happy fun slide. They're just letting us go down into it now.
This is Zharko wishing for feather fall.
You guys do fall quite a ways. You try to catch yourself on the walls, but they just, with the rumbling that's still going on, it's really hard to get your muscles to work right against all the vibration. Regardless of how long you're able to catch yourself, you do eventually fall. You find that the ground underneath you is actually sloped, and you are quickly scooted away off into the dark distance as you are buffeted by rocks and sharp pieces of crystal that are coming out of the cave walls and all sorts of debris. So why don't all of you roll me a d6 and then take that many damage?
Fuck.
Armor
3.
does not protect you in this one.
5 damage. Lovely.
Rocks fall, semicolon, everyone
No, the party
dies.
falls.
That's not terrible. You slide along for quite a while, and all of a sudden, up ahead, you see a pale blue light, and it slowly gets closer. Well, it rapidly gets closer and closer, and right before you see the rest of the room that is illuminated, you realize you are sliding rather quickly towards a ledge that is a sheer drop into this room.
Oh shit.
So you have one last chance to catch on to something. So give me strength to just dig into the rocks, dexterity to, roll and offset something.
Okay, dexterity. I'm gonna acrobatics my way out of this shit, maybe.
10.
Oric, you are good.
Yes!
Sam,
Oh.
you are good.
Whew.
Yeah. Some
Come on,
dexterity.
Zharko.
Panic has made Sam
Oh.
stressed.
11.
So is that dexterity from all of you?
Yeah.
Actually, it's going to be intelligence for me. Same
Okay.
difference in terms of modifier a bit.
He's
I
got a
actually
better
use my
story
staff
for
to
this.
catch myself,
Nice.
wedge it in.
Oh yeah, quarterstaff would be wide enough to. Yeah, that works. So everybody manages to, at the last moment, grab onto something or use a tool of some sort to catch themselves. So Oric and Sam, you are hanging on the edge of this ledge by your fingertips, and after a little while, you're able to get back up. Zharko, now that you've lost all your forward momentum, you can unwedge your staff and brush yourself off with, non-magically, I guess. And ahead of you all, you see another rather large room. There are some glowing crystals in the walls that shed a sort of pale, unearthly looking kind of illumination to the room. Very faintly in the light, way down in the bottom, you can see some sort of figure that the best way you can describe it is that it's wrong. It appears to be some amalgamation of a human and a deer, maybe. It has no back legs. It's emaciated, and its bones are visible through the skin, even from here. And what would normally be a human head has been replaced with a long, like deer skull, complete with antlers. And as your entrance drops rocks onto the floor near it, it looks up at you, just stares. How it sees you, you're not sure, since this skull seems to have no actual eyes in it, but it's looking in your direction. And you hear it say, and we're going to end the episode here.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you guys for downloading this episode. Hopefully you stay tuned to figure out, along with the party, what the hell's going on in here and why that's a thing down there. Also, good job catching that thing at the last minute, because it's a little bit of a fall, so that would have been he would have gotten to feed real quick. So that's, something. Anyway, please continue to like, share, and subscribe. These podcasts live and die by word of mouth, since we are all way too poor to afford advertisement. So if you could just tell people, that'd be great. Hopefully tell them good things, because that would be greater. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Have a great day.
That D&D podcast is released under Creative Commons 2.0, Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivative License. Tell your friends about us, but don't chop out the good stuff, and don't sell our work. The intro music is The Last Ones by Jahzzar, that's Jahzzar. It can be found at the Free Music Archive. The outro music is Kopeika, Kopeika, by Et, that's ET_, and can also be found at the Free Music Archive. All other copyrighted content is owned by their associated copyright holder.